As far back as we can remember, movie gangsters have always been the coolest cats in the business.
To me, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States.
Welcome to WatchMojo's Trope, the series where we deconstruct the cliches, archetypes, and story devices that won't go away. In this episode, we're taking a look at the cool gangster, a badass individual who operates outside of the law while using a mixture of violence and charm to frighten their enemies and impress the ladies. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. When it comes to movie gangsters, there's nothing they can't accomplish when armed with a gun and a witty one-liner.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Typically, their story is one of rags to riches, providing filmmakers ample opportunity to garner sympathy for an otherwise dastardly character. In Scarface, audiences watch as Tony Montana endures numerous hardships before finally reaching the top of the gangster mountain. In the eyes of the viewer, he has suffered and may now do as he pleases.
I buried those cockroaches!
Cool gangsters are all over film history, but this character's roots can be traced all the way back to Robin Hood, the OG of English folklore. The criminal who steals from the rich and gives to the poor while living it up in Sherwood Forest with his gang of merry men.
Break it down.
Gangsters started appearing on celluloid in the 30s, when films like The Public Enemy and the original Scarface were lambasted for glorifying criminal activity. Hollywood's temporary fix was to enforce regulations that stipulated the gangster must always lose, be it through a lengthy prison sentence or a lead salad. Then, in the early 70s, The Godfather happened, and Don Corleone's family of smooth-talking mafiosos took the world of cinema by storm.
What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully?
Since then, there have been literally hundreds of different takes on the cinematic stereotype, like Henry Hill in Goodfellas, who romanticized wise guys from a young age, eventually becoming one, and Frank Costello in The Departed, an aging crime lord with a big personality who's always one step ahead of the law.
I'm sorry. It was necessary.
So why do audiences love gangsters so much? Well, it all started with the crime wave of the 20s and 30s, a time when many citizens felt neglected by their government and instead chose to root for the underdog, those who spurned the law in favor of personal gain. Prohibition and the Great Depression gave rise to a new class of criminal. Bad boy gangsters like Al Capone and Bugsy Siegel stole newspaper headlines, running massive criminal empires with impunity.
Wanna pick on people who can't defend themselves? Huh?
Bank robbers like John Dillinger and Babyface Nelson were viewed as celebrities, men unafraid to live however they saw fit. The combination of skill, devil-may-care attitude, and subversive activity painted the outlaws of the era as heroes, with the government playing the role of the villain.
The whole country thinks you're a goddamn hero.
When it came time to create characters that audiences would fall in love with, filmmakers drew inspiration from the men whose faces adorn the covers of the country's newspapers. Most people turn to movies as an escape from the mundane tedium of everyday life. What better way than to watch characters that are your polar opposite? If you're a 9-to-5 office worker who pays their bills on time and drives a minivan to soccer practice, then you'd probably be more interested in a movie about a badass outlaw who rebukes authority and plays by their own rules than a movie that isn't too different from your own day-to-day life. Where's the fun in that?
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Or maybe audiences can't get enough sex and violence. After all, the cool gangster is well-versed in both.
Janice can do whatever she wants to do. You got it? Got it? Got it?
So what do you think? Why do audiences love gangsters so much? And what are some of your favorite examples of the cool gangster?
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.